So Shain Hardwick and Nikki Comrie stay out in the arena, where they're joined by Greg Davis and Claire Peaty, who won that buzzer beater the match before last to keep themselves in contention for tonight.
And that is the break of the night. What a connection. And look at these balls just trapped to the pockets. 3 balls down, and they're straight in with an attempt at the yellows. Oh, poor opening shot, but still in with an opportunity. And this is a big shot from Shain. He's got to bridge over this yellow and just roll the cue ball down, get the pot, needs an angle. Gets the pot, gets the angle.
What we haven't seen from any pairing so far has been a very quick first frame. This would be a different type of match if they could complete the clearance in the first visit.
Yeah, this is the key shot. Position. And you can see Nikki's walking away, sort of head dropped, and they're still at the table. Still got to have that belief that they can get through the night.
Especially as they do have a couple of shots on here. It's not the shot they wanted, but it's not a disaster by any means. Play an attacking or a defensive shot off that ball. Goes for the defensive one and plays it well.
Yeah, the only downside to what Shain's just played is it looks like he's just tied up the yellow with the 8 ball, but Greg and Nikki just need to make sure they get a hit here. And he's played that very well.
Well, having called it too early about this being a quick first frame, it looks like we're settling into the more familiar pattern of a few tactical exchanges at the beginning.
Yeah, they've got to get a hit here, but they don't want to separate the 8 ball, so naturally you'd probably look to come off the top rail and behind, but they don't want to move that 8 ball. It's not a foul, and the red's frozen, but they do have an opportunity on the red to the right centre, or they can elect to play another safety, as Greg's pointing.
If they'd have finished further away from the red that the cue ball's almost touching, they'd have been tempted by the pot, but have landed a bit too close to it.
It's a nice shot.
Yeah, Claire's played an important shot there. Kept the pressure up. As long as their opponents don't have any open sight at the balls, the red balls are in by far the better position on the table.
This is where Shain's got a way up. Does he want to hit these yellows? But he could open up the 8 ball on the shot. Risky. What a cue ball.
I mean, that's all the difference, isn't it? That cue ball drops, then ball in hand, it's a completely different game.
How has that stayed up?
It's amazing. Referee just pointing out that the ball on the left-hand rail is frozen. That doesn't really change much, but just in case the safety shot was to be played off it, something else would need to touch a cushion.
And not only needs to hit the rail, which you have, but not only that, the yellow tied up one of the reds to the right-hand side, where the yellow passes, but the red doesn't. So this is an opportunity to close out the frame. Just one good shot, top off the top rail. Don't stun it.
Well, not a good miss, but they've had some second prize in that the 8 ball's got tied up as well now.
Yeah, Yeah, there's a lot of mileage left in this frame.
Had that 8 ball not got tied up, it would have been far more attractive to go for a clearance, but where the balls are finished, that may not be on their agenda. Although I suppose you could take the view that does getting ball in hand really improve your position.
It's a nice shot from Greg, but you don't really achieve anything from that. If Shain can get a good hit on the yellow that's closest to the rail and leave the cue ball behind, he can put himself in pole position here. Needs to hit a rail after contact though. Needs to hit a rail after contact, which he just has.
And that was the thing about the safety shot that Greg and Claire played. They've ended up in a worse position than before they played it.
I like this shot, so just open up the 8 ball and the red and get the cue ball to the left hand side of the table. Just done one but not the other. Needed to open up the red.
Frame that had a chance of being won from the initial clearance is now over 6 minutes in play. Right now, a result not looking too imminent.
And that's not a bad shot.
Perfect view there of how completely true the table is as that ball comes down dead weight on a dead straight line.
Hats off to the table technician.
Yeah, all the players who hadn't played out in this main arena before were commenting during their practice time how well the table plays. What you can't account for though is the pressure you feel when you're out in that main arena. The table may be good, but you've got to play your part as well.
The way the yellow and the red are at the bottom right hand side of the table, neither team wants to attack, and there's a hell of a lot of mileage left in this frame, and this could be a 1 frame match.
Such an important frame as well, such an important match, and therefore an important frame given how long it's taken.
Like a game of chess.
And we've seen the importance of this first frame the whole way through this match, which is why neither of them wants to risk throwing their arm at it and lose a silly one.
Which one's going to be calling checkmate? Cue ball. It's not the end of the world, they've gone and off, but still nothing to go at. Shain he doesn't want to. Reds are still slight favourites here for me. What he could play is put the cue ball behind the yellow where the yellow's touching the red. The other way, he needs to move it below it and play off the side rail. This is the wrong shot. So for me now, reds have become favourites because they can just put the red towards the centre of the table and just leave the cue ball behind the 8 ball, so it stops the one at the bottom.
Big shot here for Claire, just going to make absolutely sure of the snooker if she plays that shot. The snooker on the ball near the black spot, that is. It doesn't matter too much if she leaves the ball at the top of the table available. You want to get clever with this. And that was the risk of playing the shot that way round.
Yeah, this has given them an opportunity now. But what they've got to decide is how do they attack. They could, looking at the way the balls are positioned, opt to pot this one and get the cue ball to the top of the top rail and then play a 3-ball plant. But again, they've got fortunate and they've tied the red up with the 8 ball.
What a frame this has turned into. could have been a quick frame, but now it just seems like everything that could have gone tight has just ended up playing out that way. Actually seen a good quality of safety played for the most part. That's why nobody's yet really got a clear-cut chance.
So again, this has handed another opportunity, and the natural angle that Greg's left here. Cue ball goes left ram rail, top rail, and they're on the yellow. Both yellows do go in the right centre.
Yeah, he's got a perfect angle to drop on the more difficult of the two yellows to take that first. So finally, could this be the chance that Shain and Nikki have been looking for?
I don't know why
the corner pocket. Wow.
He didn't play the natural angles. He's jabbed down on the shot.
Just needed to get into it a bit to get over to that portion of the left-hand side cushion, but got into it far too much. Now, this really is important for Greg and Claire. Ball in hand, which is valuable because they can unlock this little puzzle of a couple of balls. I mean, you'd feel like the way to go, I think she's just struggling to reach it, would be to take this ball she's now potting to the middle, to the corner, but this amounts to much the same.
Oh, you saw the nerves there, just sort of rushing a little bit.
So has to take the ball to the corner, but recovers prime position.
This is the key shot now, but if you take the one to the left, you're not guaranteed natural position on the red because the cue ball's tracking towards the rail. He doesn't want to land straight. Anything but straight. Can he force it over? See, he's dead straight.
Wow, it's amazing. He's had to sacrifice perfect position and play short position, leaving a more difficult 8-ball. Good chance this for this first frame win.
Claire saved him in the last match. Can she save him again? No problem.
Well, if they do go on to qualify tonight, it will be the tale of the two excellent 8-balls from Claire Peaty. Brilliant skill shot in their previous match. That wasn't as difficult, but it was still pretty difficult in the context.
So, looks like there's 7 minutes left on the match clock, so a huge chunk of that frame gone out on the opener. So, Claire Peaty with the break. And it's a great break, and it's Claire against Shain in this opening match.
And as we've seen throughout tonight, it's the second frame becomes massive when so much time is used up in the first frame.
Yeah, and as we touched upon, a draw is not good enough for either team to stay in the night. They need to win. If I was Greg, I'd be saying to Claire, just play a little bit quicker.
We've complimented the thinking from Scott Pope in a previous match, but I don't think this is quite the same situation. Here she's just got to focus on getting the clearance. A 2-0 lead would be big.
I think the key here is, obviously, yes, win the frame. But if you were to lose a frame, don't lose it with much of the clock left. You've got to lose the frame quick. Shain needs to attack. So he's playing the loss of turn, putting himself in control of the frame, but again, Shain also needs to play quicker to give themselves time. Played it well. So you see Greg sat in his chair. He needs to get up for me and advise Claire to just speed up a little bit.
It's not something that comes natural, the idea of losing a frame quickly. It's sort of not the thing that's normally going through your head. I mean, obviously, primarily she's focused on the win, but as you say, it's different losing quickly and losing slowly are different things here.
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting thing about the format. I mean, I'm probably talking as though she's going to lose a frame, but she might not. But the Reds are certainly in a better position, and the clock's ticking away. So if you were to lose, you can't put yourself in that position where your partner's got to win within 1 minute to go, for instance.
It's also a different position from earlier on in the night, where a draw would have been useful for the players, whereas now it just happens the way the other results have gone. The draw isn't enough.
So that's a nice shot, but Shay's just going to play another loss of turn shot here for me.
This is where the shot clock's an issue, where you've got to think a bit more about the shot. If you played it decently. That yellow at the bottom of the table does obviously pop past the red. The red hasn't stayed near the bottom right pocket.
Both pairs do have an extension to use, and neither are opting to take it. I think they forgot.
Oh, she's played that really well, all things considered.
It's a great shot.
Good cue ball as well, as it happens.
Tremendous shot.
This time Shay has remembered the extension.
Another loss of turn coming up off the red. He's not got it.
And is this the moment Claire has to go for this? Because if she leaves Shay in to play another loss of turn in that pocket, she could get into trouble. Called her extension. Very likely we will get to a conclusion of this frame, but by no means guaranteed we'll see another frame after this.
Oh, clock's running out. Don't pot the balls, ask the question to Shay. Oh, has that just been a nice little flick where the plant's on?
Yeah, I think it's just come far enough. It's not easy, but she's close enough to this that it's a makeable plant. She's pulled out some clutch pots in this match. If that yellow had dropped, she'd have been in good shape for the clearance.
This looks like it's the final frame of the match and puts everything in the balance. So Shay, I don't think he's got enough angle to play the loss of turn, so he's looking at playing it now, but he leaves the yellow on. Wrong shot. Oh, he's attacked.
Here, shouts of "Come on, Claire" from the crowd. This is a good chance now for Claire Peaty. This will be for the match.
Perfect. Well controlled.
Doesn't really do too much here. She can just focus on the pot. Confidently struck.
Claire's pulled off some unbelievable shots tonight to keep the partnership in. And she's doing it again.
Didn't try to do anything clever there. Knew she was always going to have a good shot at the 8-ball. This for a 2-0 lead with only just over 1 minute remaining on the match clock. Well, this has been some performance from both of the players, but Claire Peaty in particular has pulled out some clutch shots when she really needed them.
Yeah, and we're as good as certain to ask the question to Scott and Courtney in the final match. Scott and Courtney need to at least pick up a draw in that final match to win the night, otherwise we're in for a 6 red.
It always felt like that was a possibility, didn't it? I mean, it's always a possibility in this format, of course, but this was always an open group. You could make a case for any of the 4 pairs. It looks like it's going to be the 2 that we had identified as the slight favourites that are going to be in contention for the group win. Nikki really needs a golden break here. Nothing else is going to give her enough time to find the comeback.
It is a great break.
Well, she strolls over to the table. She's going to have to get at this at some pace. I mean, the only chance of the win, really, is to clear up and get a golden duck from your opponents, which is highly unlikely. That's where they pot the 8-ball and the white off the break. Looks like in her own mind she thinks this game is over. Well, it is now. And this is a nice position as Craig comes to the table. There haven't been many moments tonight when he's been able to relax at all when he's been at the table. Had to pull an unbelievable buzzer beater out to win his last match. This time, though, no pressure. The clock is ticking down and that lead is unassailable at this point.
Yeah, and it's nice potting the balls when you know you've won the match. You can do your own little victory lap, and whether this is the last we see them of the night, they've finished on a high.
And that chime in the background signals the end of the match. In the end, Greg Davies and Claire Peaty had done too much. There was no way back into that for Shain Hardwick and Nikki Comrie. They've played their part tonight. They're out of it. And now, as we go into the last match of the night, it's all on whether Scott Pope and Courtney Brixton can get a point out of it, or whether we go to a 6 red shootout.